Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Today, we are going to be bringing you the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters and the Yokohama DeNA BayStars. It is the third game of the best-of-three set. The opener was won on Friday night when Trevor Bauer paced the way for the BayStars to a 2-1 victory. The Fighters won the follow-up last night and now are looking to square off to see who's going to win the rubber game of this series. First of all, we're going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Hokkaido. Leading off and in left field tonight, wearing number 12 is Kode Yazawa. Batting second in center field is number 50, Ryota Isabata. Hitting third and playing third base is number 21, Kotaro Kiyomiya. The cleanup spot and doing the catching is number 30, Yuya Gunji. Batting fifth at first base is number 99, Franmil Reyes. Batting in the sixth spot and in right field is Chusei Minami. Hitting seventh at shortstop tonight is number 54, Shu Yamagata. Batting eighth at second base is number 4, Daigo Kawabata. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 24, Shoma Kanamura. And they're going to be facing Yutaro Ishida, who takes to the hill with a record of 1-1 this season. And he has paced himself to a 3.18 ERA. Well, that is your starting lineup for the visitors from Hokkaido. Now your starting lineup for the home team, the Yokohama DeNA BayStars. Leading off and in center field, wearing number 1 is Masayuki Kuwahara. Batting second in right field is number 4, Ryuki Wataru. Batting third at first base is number 7, Kaida Sano. And the cleanup spot and playing second base is number 2, Shugo Maki. Batting fifth in left field is number 25, Yoshi Satsugo. Hitting sixth at third base is number 51, Toshiro Miyazaki. Batting seventh and doing the catching is number 5, Cheyenne Masuda. Batting eighth and at shortstop is number 6, Kaito Mori. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 54, Yutaro Ishida. And they are going to be facing Shoma Kanamura, who takes to the hill with a 4-2 record. He's worked 57 innings, allowed 44 hits, 11 runs, all of which were earned, walking 8 and striking out 34, pitching himself to an ERA of 1.90. Well, that's your starting lineups for tonight's game. We are a few minutes from the first pitch. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. We appreciate those who pop in and listen on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Our friend Steve Rademacher is in the house, so you know it's going to be a good night tonight, as is our friend Harrison and all the rest. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back, everybody. The BayStars have taken the field, and we are still just a couple moments away from the first pitch of the ball game as they will go through that ceremonial first pitch. And we are going to be back in just a couple moments with all the action, as it is the BayStars and the Fighters from Yokohama tonight. This afternoon, a cloudy, overcast day. A great day for baseball. Not too much sunlight streaming down on the players. We'll be back in just a few right after this little timeout. It is going to be the right-hander Yutaro Ishida who is starting his tune-up tosses here. The BayStars are going to be in those uniforms that are very difficult to read. They kind of look nice. They've got the blue on blue number. They must have taken a page out of the Hiroshima Carp playbook by having a red number on a red jersey. I do like these powdered hats, though, and the white pants that go with it. So that is where it stands here. It'll be coming to bat here for the fighters to begin it. It'll be Yazawa, Isobata, and Kiyomiya to get things going. Our friend Harrison says, how far am I away from Quebec? About 3,000 miles, maybe more away. We are right on the other side of the country. Quebec might as well be on the moon from as far as I am concerned. So that is some geography for you there. Our good friend Harrison, our friend CV in the house tonight. Haven't seen CV in a while. We're glad you could be here with you. Angels versus Mariners. That's what he's looking at. It looks like it'd be pretty good. Well, Mariners pitching has been pretty good this year, CV. I think you'll be in for an entertaining one, as it is their offense that has been a little dicey with the exception of Cal Raleigh, who's been outstanding this year. All right, well, here we go, everybody. We're ready to get this one underway. It's Yazawa, Isobata, and Kiyomiya to get things going here. Yazawa batting .226 on the year, homer and 5 RBIs. Takes a first pitch fastball at the knees for a called strike. And we are underway at 2:01 local time, or Japan time. 10:01 Pacific, 1:01 Eastern if you're on the East Coast. There's a fastball swung on. It's chopped softly back to the pitcher. He fields it and throws to first, and that is going to retire Yazawa. It's going in the books as a ground out, 1-3. So one away here, and that'll bring up the center fielder in Ryota Isobata. So for Isobata, he comes to the plate hitting .239, no homers and 8 runs batted in. As the right-hander ready to go. Really young-looking fella here. He's only 23 years old. 23 years old seems like a lifetime ago for some of us. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 1-0 on Ryo Isobata. Isobata, known for his wheels more than anything else. He gets the nod in center field tonight. He can run the bases. He's got 9 stolen bases this year. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count goes to 2-0. Defensively tonight for the BayStars, from left to right field, Setsugo's in left, the center fielder Kuwahara, and in right field, Wataru. As the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined right to the glove of the first baseman on one hop. As Sano takes it, and he's going to step on the base, and that is going to retire Isobata for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Kotaro Kiyomiya. Just finishing off the Yokohama defense around the horn from first to third. Sano's at first, Maki at second. The shortstop is Mori, and the third baseman, Miyazaki, with the battery of Ishida and Matsuo. So Ishida gives his thumbs of approval. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count goes to 1-0 on Kiyomiya. 2 gone here in the first inning. It's the left-handed hitting third baseman of the Fighters looking to try to get something going as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander delivers again, the fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field, into the Bermuda Triangle, but coming in is the left fielder Setsugo, and he's going to make the catch. And the Fighters are going to go quietly here in their half of the first inning. 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are through a half inning. Your score is the Fighters 0 and the BayStars coming to bat. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be back for the bottom of the first inning when we return right after this. Make sure you guys lock up your small animals and batten down the hatches. Steve Rademacher is in the house tonight, and here's his introduction right now for you.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Kuwahara, Wataru, and Sano to come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 1, as it will be the BayStars who will look to draw first blood in this one. Kuwahara hitting .279 on the season, no homers and 4 RBIs. He was in the game on Friday night. Led off the ball game with a triple. Came in to score the early first run of the game for the BayStars the other night. We called that one in the wee hours of the morning in North America time. Trevor Bauer was on the hill for the BayStars in that one. So here we go as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a slow breaking ball that misses upstairs. I don't even know if that registered. Oh, there it was, 99 kilometers on the gun. So for those of you at home, that was about 60 miles an hour. It's quite the way to start the game. So 1 ball and no strikes. And Shoma Kanamura, who's the right-hander here, probably followed up with a big-time heater. And there is a fastball that, no, actually it was a changeup that misses upstairs. So 2 soft pitches in a row. That makes the count 2-0. Right-hander for the Fighters gets himself into the motion and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Again, he gets the sign from his catcher and ready to deliver, as it is a fastball swung on. It is grounded foul over on the third base side, and the count now goes to 2-2. Defensively tonight for the Fighters, from left to right field, it is Yazawa in left, Isabata in center. Right fielder is Manami. Harrison says, how are we doing? We're doing great, Harrison. Still holding it down in here. We got Reyes at first, the second baseman tonight, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is still going to remain at 2-2. At second, it's Kamikawabata, shortstop Yamagata, and the third baseman Kiyomiya with the battery of Kanamura and Gunji. It's a long day today in the sunlight. Got some beautiful weather here. Going to be in the 80s tomorrow. Got to love it. There's a fastball swung on. It's chopped foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 2-2. Harrison says, have the BayStars been winning lately? He's been busy. They lost last night, but they had pulled themselves into a playoff position. They were in a second spot in the Central League, which has been pretty good because they were languishing out of the playoff spot for a bit. They were scuffling through the month of April and into May, as there's a fastball swung on, is grounded softly over to short, fielded on the move by the shortstop Yamagata. He throws to first, and Kuwahara has gone on a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. I'll bring up the right fielder, Enrique Wataru. Well, for Wataru, he's hitting .271 on the season, 4 homers and 17 RBIs. He's really picked up the pace lately. His average up into the 270s. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball at the knees, just on the inside corner. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Harrison says the Mets are 3.5 games up on the Phillies. Lots of baseball still to be played. You don't win championships in the month of June, but you can sure lose them, as there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander working himself into the motion and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded, foul just past the bag at first base, and now Wataru is in the hole at 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes it is. Harrison asked the question, are the Tigers in first place? Yes, they are. The thing is, they're going to have to build that healthy lead when they take their annual road trip in the month of August. That's where they seem to have that swoon. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. For those of you who don't know, that's when the Cochin Stadium is used for the annual high school summer tournament. And they kind of get evicted from their place, their home place, and then they use the Kyocera Dome as for some home games, which is the home team of the Buffaloes. Buffaloes make their way over to Kobe. As that pitch had missed, it's 2-2 here to Wataru, and there's a breaking ball that misses down and in. It's going to run the count full. Good stop there by Shine Masuda. Or check that Yuya Gunji. Did the game at 2 a.m. the other night, and it was a battle to keep awake toward the end of the game. Today it's a battle to stay awake in the first inning. Hopefully we can get through this with you. As we did get a pregame nap in. There's a fastball swung on a lifted foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 3-2. Harrison asks, who's in first in the other league? Well, it is the team who the BayStars are playing tonight. It is the Fighters. It's a matchup of 1 versus 2. Fighters are playing pretty good ball this year. So here comes the 3-2 pitch again here to Wataru. As the right-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. And this battle is going to continue. And by our counts, this will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to the right fielder of the BayStars. And here comes the pitch, as it is a fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded on the backhand by Reyes. He throws to first to the pitcher covering, and that's going to go in the books as a ground out. It's 3-1 on the putout for 2 outs here, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Kaita Sano. Harrison says he thought it was the Marines. Marines were languishing in last place in the other league, Harrison. They were off to one of their worst starts in the last 15 or 20 years. So Kaita Sano stepping to the dish. He's hitting .281 on the year, 4 homers and 28 runs batted in. I have to say, when we've seen him play, he has been very, very solid. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Gets the nod again at first base. Tyler Austin out again. We're talking about Austin. He's been with some lower body issues. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. Lions are still playing pretty good ball. They're still in the playoff picture at the moment. Over in the other league there in the Pacific. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 3-0 on Sano. Waiting his turn on deck is the hitting machine in Shugo Maki. So 3 balls and no strikes to Sano as the right-hander ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. As the right-hander again kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. And Sano's going to get himself a 2-out walk. And that'll bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. Harrison says he likes Yokohama for the stadium atmosphere and the American players. Stadium atmosphere is pretty good at Yokohama, but it's pretty good elsewhere too. Can't think of a stadium, or at least probably the one that's least atmosphere would be the Oryx Buffaloes. They are probably the least followed team in the NPB. Don't get the respect, don't get the love. Don't have the following as the pitch is on the way. And that is a changeup that swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Maki. I said it was a changeup, but it looked more like a cutter on the replay. If that's going to be the mantra here for Kanemura tonight, he's not an overpowering arm. Here's the pitch. There is a fastball swung on and missed. That was probably one of the faster pitches we've seen him throw tonight. He reared back and threw that and lit the gun up at all at 90 miles an hour. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Back on the call a little later this week. We'll post up some stuff. We're going to be away next weekend, so try to get a couple of midweek games in as that fastball misses outside, and it's now 1-2 to Mackey. So nothing on the Saturday for sure, possibly the Friday. Just have to wait and see as the 1-2 is on the way. Pitch is delivered. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. Now it goes to 2-2 on Mackey. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the first inning. And the score is 0-0 between the BayStars and the Fighters. Here's the 2-2. Fastball misses down. It's now 3-2 to Mackey. Says top of the first on the ticker. We got to update that. We're a little bit behind. And that is just for your information. So 3-2 pitch here. Runner's going to be on the move. As the right-hander looks in, Mackey waiting here on the offering from Kanamura, who kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to third. Nice play by Kiyomiya. Fires to first. It's a ground out 5-3, and that is going to do it here for Yokohama in their half of inning number 3. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the top of the second inning. It is a 0-0 ball game. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thanks again there, Steve. We'll be back in just a moment with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Yuya Gunji, Franmil Reyes, and Chusei Minami to get things going here for the Fighters as Gunji takes the first pitch fastball outside for ball 1. Gunji batting from the right side here, getting the start behind the plate tonight as he rips a fastball foul just past the camera well over on the third base side. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Gunji hitting .241, 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. Hitting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Ishida, who holds to the set and now delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. Our friend Trevor in here. Welcome, Trevor. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. Our friend Harrison's a one-man gang in here sometimes in the chat. He's holding it down there, trying to keep everybody entertained. But we got to keep Harrison focused on the game at hand as the 2-2 pitch is on the way. Fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike, and Gunji is gone. He's out for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Franmil Reyes. Not sure what he was looking for there. That was a pretty good pitch. Although I have to say, it looked like it started a bit outside and then came back over the outside corner of the plate. And Gunji knew it. He turned around and he walked away. Gone for out number 1. So here comes the offering. It is a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. As Franmil Reyes waits here on the 0-1. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Reyes hitting .249, 11 homers, and 28 runs batted in. He is getting the nod at first base tonight because it is interleague play. No DH here for the Fighters, so he gets a chance to flash the leather as that breaking ball misses outside. The count is 1-2. I have to tell you, I really tip my hat to Franmil Reyes. That run that he had last year with that 25-game hitting streak, and the way that he's been able to come back this year and perform, as there's a fastball at the knees taken for a called third strike. Reyes is in the books. So back-to-back called third strikes. He shakes his head and turns and walks away. The home plate umpire there rings him up, back-to-back Ks. We'll get a look at the replay. I think Reyes has a bit of a beef on that one there for sure. But that in being said, a little bit too close to take here early on. That's going to bring up Manami, the right fielder. Harrison said, are you taking Skeens tomorrow or the Phillies off a loss? And there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. I don't know where that game is at tomorrow, if it's in Philly or if it's in Pittsburgh. Good pitching always beats good hitting. There's a breaking ball swung on and it's grounded foul past the bag at third base. The count is now 1-1 to Manami. The problem is with good pitching beating good hitting, my piece to that would be that the Pirates just don't have enough good pitching after Skeens. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count 1-2 now to Manami. I do say this, if Ishida's going to get those calls that he got on Gunji and Reyes, it's going to be a very difficult afternoon for the Fighters. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses in the left-handed batter's box. The count is now 2-2 to Manami. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to go again. Kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Ishida strikes out the side here in inning number 2. As the Fighters go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. Your score as we move now to the bottom of the second inning. We are locked at 0s, and we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 2, and coming to bat here for the Yokohama DeNA BayStars will be Satsugo Miyazaki and Matsuo. to begin the inning here. Trevor Parker says he likes Flaherty in Detroit tomorrow. Bounce back game for the Tigers, as they did not lose to the Cubs. Trevor says, I've never heard of Horton. Willie Horton? Willie Horton was a long-time Detroit Tiger, if that's who you are asking about. First pitch delivered to Yoshi Tsutsugo is taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. It was 26 pitches in the first inning from the right-hander Kanamura, and he delivers a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-1. And if he's going to pitch at that rate, he may not be around very long here tonight. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Tsutsugo. Tsutsugo hitting 191 on the year, a couple homers and 5 RBIs as he swings and lifts this one into straightaway center field. This ball could be trouble. Backing up on the warning track, and it is going to be gone to straightaway center field. The ball kept carrying, and it rides it out just over top of the batter's eye. Unbelievable. Now that's a blast. So Tsutsugo drilling his 3rd home run of the year to lead off the 2nd inning. And that has given the BayStars an early 1-0 lead here. And that'll bring up the 3rd baseman in Toshiro Miyazaki. Pitch was up in the zone. Fastball up in the zone and absolutely obliterated off the bat. Great swing there by Tsutsugo. And you could see off the crack of the bat that the crowd knew it. Pretty impressive. And the first pitch delivered to Miyazaki's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Miyazaki hitting 292 on the season. He's got himself a homer and 14 runs batted in. There is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Late call from the home plate umpire. Count goes to 0-2 on Miyazaki. So no balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch from Kanamura. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seat straight behind home plate. And the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander kicks and he delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kanamura here, ready to go again. He kicks and fires. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled off into the feet of Toshiro Miyazaki, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1-0 lead here for the BayStars at the bottom of the 2nd inning. A home run off the bat of Yoshi Tsutsugo to get the scoring underway here for Yokohama. 1-2 on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped over the head of the pitcher, fielded on the run by Kawabata, and scooped nicely at first by Reyes, and that is going to retire Miyazaki. That's a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. It's going to bring up the catcher in Shion Matsuo. Well, for Matsuo, he's hitting .301 on the year, 3 homers and 10 runs driven in. Striding to the plate here with nobody on and 1 gone. Hitting from the right side as the first pitch is swung on and it's grounded over to third. Oh, and it gobbles up Kiyomiya. Gets through him. Rounding first and now retreating back to first is going to be Matsuo. And I think that's going to go down as an error. So Kentaro Kiyomiya unable to pick that up on the backhand. We'll wait to see what the official scoring is, but I'm putting an E5 in the books here. That allows Matsuo to reach first. And that is going to bring up the shortstop in Kaitomori. Not necessarily an easy play, but one that needs to be made. Our friend All Rails in the house tonight. Welcome to you. You joined us as the BayStars have taken an early 1-0 lead here. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on, grounded over the right side. Reyes fields it. He goes to second for 1. Back to first. Oh, and not in time. They might want to have a look at this one. Let's see what they're going to do here. Is the manager Shinjo going to come out and give us the VAR sign? Maybe not. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Matsuo 3-6. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Kaito Mori will take his place over at first on that fielder's choice. And now it'll bring up the pitcher in Yataro Ishida. We're going to look at the replay. Well, I think you want to have a look at that one. I don't know if they're going to go and have a peek at it or not, but our replay shows, I think that he's going to be out. But no, they're not going to go up and have a look at it. So interesting. Shinjo declines that. I don't know if that's because the pitcher's coming up or not, but here comes the first offering here to Ishida. And it is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Harrison said, what did he miss? Well, like Harrison, you can't keep leaving on us. Otherwise, you'd miss a whole lot. Got to stick around somehow. Here comes the 0-1 to Ishida. Fastball on the outside corner taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. Ishida looks like a disinterested third party with a piece of wood in his hand having to hit here. There's no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and it's fouled away down the right field line. Count is 0-2. Harrison, I don't know about the Mets fans, but if you were in Boston or some of the other parks that if you were doing a bathroom break in the middle of the inning, they'd probably start throwing slices of pizza at you. Got to be able to tie the knot and hang in until the innings break. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. On the way, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. Alreal says that Yoshi Setsugo with the homer. Yeah, pretty impressive. And it wasn't just a wall scraper. That thing there, straight away center field off the batter's eye. Well, it's pretty impressive. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on and fouled off the catcher, Yuya Gunji, and the count remains at 1-2. If you were in Kansas City, usually they arrive in the second inning or the third inning and leave in the 7th. They always stick around for the middle frames. Get there late and leave early. There's nothing more crazier than that. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded softly by the second baseman, Kamikawa Bada. Throws to first, and Ishida's going to be gone on a ground out 4-3, and that'll do it here for Yokohama in their half of inning number 2. Well, they got a run in the inning. It was the solo shot by Setsugo to get things going. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 2 complete. As we move to the top of the third inning, it is the BayStars 1 and the Fighters no score. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this with all the action. More to come here shortly. We got our score line of 1-0 for the BayStars. It is the solo shot by Setsugo that's the difference. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. The bottom third of the order will be coming up to bat for the Fighters in their half of inning number 3. It'll be Yamagata, Kawabata, and the pitcher Kanamura to face the right-hander Yataro Ishida. Right now, this one run looks like it could be the only run that Ishida will need in this one here, as he is off to a pretty good start here this afternoon. And the first pitch is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Yamagata. Yamagata hitting .206 on the season. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. As the right-hander Ishida kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted softly into right field. Moving back underneath it is Mackey, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Yamagata for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That'll bring up the second baseman in Daigo Kawabata. Well, for Kawabata, he has really struggled at the plate this year. He is his 4th season with the Fighters. He's batting .130 with no homers and 1 RBI. As the pitch on the way is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. When I think of Kawabata, I also think of Mizuno at shortstop, and Mizuno is not in the lineup here for this one tonight. As there's a breaking ball swung on, it is grounded over to second, fielded neatly by Mackey. And that is going to do it, as Mackey has been involved in both the plays here in the inning. Ground out 4-3 for out number 2, and that'll leave it up to the pitcher in Shoma Kanamura. Consistently healthy crowds in Yokohama, and another one here tonight as the right-handed hitting Kanamura comes to the plate. No stats on him, as it's the first interleague at bat that he has. He takes a fastball under the hands for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Ishida, who delivers another fastball at the knees. It's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So just good old-fashioned hardball here from the right-hander Ishida, wasting no time here with the opposite pitcher. And there is a breaking ball swung on, and it's hit foul into the seats down the right field line. Our friend Redbeard is in the house. No balls and 2 strikes. It remains here for Kanamura. And the pitch on the way, it is a fastball taken for a called third strike. And Kanamura stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he watched that go by for out number 3. And that's 9 in a row retired by Ishida to start the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 3 is Yokohama 1 and Hokkaido no score. We'll be back in just a few with all of the action right after this. Your score as we move to the bottom half of the third inning, it is 1-0 for the BayStars. We'll be back right after this little timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to the bottom half of inning number 3. It is going to be Kuwahara, Wataru, and Sano to come to bat for the BayStars. Our friend Gracie Lynn is in the house as she is stopping in for a couple innings. Glad you can make it by, Gracie Lynn. Missed you the other night at 2 a.m. Pacific as Trevor Bauer was on the mound, as we were able to squeeze that one in. We had a lot of fun in that stream that night. Had some different folks who don't normally join us for that. we're definitely in on the call for that one. And it is going to be Kuwahara, as we said, coming to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded to short his first time up as the right-hander kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Kuwahara, as we mentioned the other night when we were on the game, he tripled the lead off the ball game and came home to score that first run pretty quick. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 0-2 on Kuwahara. Yeah, it was a good crowd in the stream the other night. I think we had about 10 people for most of the evening, 8 to 10. And surprisingly, for a middle of the night on a Friday morning in North America, that's a pretty good turnout as that pitch misses down. Count goes to 1-2. We had some Australian folks in the stream as they were listening. I guess they couldn't get the feed for the BayStars, or at least for the Fighters, because the Fighters were playing in Yokohama. As the 1-2 is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses down. It goes to 2-2 now on Kuwahara. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned before, we're going to get a couple of games in this week. We're going to be away next weekend, so we might be able to do a Friday game, which would be the Saturday in Japan. I'll have to look at the schedule of interleague play. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into left field, shallow left field. Backing up on it is the shortstop, and it is going to be hauled in by Yamagata, as that is going to retire Kuwahara for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. It'll bring up the right fielder in Ryuki Wataru. Yeah, 4 a.m. is a little too early. I'm not sure if 2 a.m. is early or it's a little late when we do it. Got to get a little nap in, but with Bauer throwing, we'll try to do the one with Bauer this week again. I think he'll either be on Wednesday or Thursday, I would expect. As the first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike, the count is 0-1 to Wataru. 50 pitches already here by Kanemaru, and we're only in the 3rd inning. As that breaking ball drops in, and the count goes now to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Getting the right-hander working into the set. Pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped over the head of the pitcher, fielded on the run by the shortstop. Nice play there by Yamagata, who's going to gun down Wataru for the second out of the inning. It goes as ground out 6-3 for out number 2. So 2 in the books. That'll bring up Kaida Sano. So no balls, 2 strikes it is. Our friend Gracie Lynn was in the chat the other day asking about the Discord. We have a server. We have everything all set up. But I got to figure out how to connect, or at least connect with you. There's a first pitch changeup. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Sano. Sano tonight walked his first time up, and he was stranded aboard in the first inning. As there is a changeup that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. Harrison says he can't do the 5 a.m. It's unfortunate, Harrison. That's where the free drinks and the dancing ladies come in at that time of night, as there is a changeup that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. If you believe that, we've also got some pigs that fly and other unique pieces, bearded ladies, and like they do at the carnival, as well as the other trapeze artists. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. The count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harrison says they need to pitch him on weekends. Well, usually the Friday night starter is the considered to be the big one, but he's been getting starts on 4 days rest, coming back on the 5th day. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it with room to make the catch is the left fielder Yazawa, and that will do it here as the BayStars go in order at inning number 3. Well, a third of the game is in the books. We're skipping along quite nicely here, as it was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 4th inning. Your score is the BayStars won, the Fighters no score. We'll be back in just a couple of moments And we appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be back after this from our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
We have a scoreline of 1-0 as we move to the top of the fourth inning. BayStars are in the lead. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this with all of the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's the top of the fourth inning, and coming to bat, well, it's the top of the order here for the fighters. That's Yazawa, Isobata, and Kiyomiya. You face the right-hander Ishida, who has only thrown 30 pitches in his first 3 innings of work. And the first pitch fastball misses outside for ball 1. Count is 1-0. Just with regards to Gracie Lynn, I made the note of that, so we'll try after the game. As there's a breaking ball swung on and foul over on the first base side. The count goes even to 1-1 on Yazawa. Got an early morning tomorrow, so we'll be up at the crack of dawn. I have a feeling this game will be done before 1 Pacific, but a 6 o'clock a.m. wake-up call will be on the docket. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to first, fielded neatly by the first baseman, Sano, who drops to the knee, and that's going to be a ground out to 3 for the first out of the inning. So that's 10 in a row retired here by the starter Ishida. I'll bring up the center fielder in Ryota Isobata. Real says, how was our day today? The day today was a lot of baseball and a lot of sunlight. It was a long day at the yard, especially when you're on the short end of the stick a couple of times. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Isobata. Our youngsters had a challenging day, that is for sure. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-1. A picture of her cat. There you go. Ball on 1 strike. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded by Mackey. He flips the first, and that is going to retire Isobata. It's a ground out 4-3. Gone for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the third baseman in Kotaro Kiyomiya. Real says he's going to go and shoot some hoops. It's been many moons since I've been on the basketball court, probably about a good solid 15 years now. So that is going to bring up Kotaro Kiyomiya to the plate. I have to tell a story about, with regards to basketball, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. And I tell everybody that I hit 32 consecutive free throws in practice in high school. And people are like, oh, that's pretty good. Fellow went to my high school as there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back and making the catch is Kuwahara, and that is going to retire the fighters in order here. So 12 up and 12 down. And that will do it here for the Hokkaido Ball Club in their half of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the fourth. I'll come back and restart that story in just a couple of moments. I'll tell you that in just a moment and what the connection was to those free throws. We'll be right back after this. Back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for Yokohama. That means Maki, Setsugo, and Miyazaki. I was telling people, or at least I share with people, story I said about hitting free throws in practice, hitting 32 consecutive. Sounds like a big deal. The high school record, at least where I was at, was set by a fella. His name was Mike Berkovich. And Mike was the starting backcourt mate to Magic Johnson at Michigan State back in the 1979 championships. Mike's a number of years older than I am. As there's a first pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike. And it was something incredible. It was like 256 consecutive free throws in a row without a miss. As the 0-1 pitch is ready to go here. And the fastball is swung on and missed. And now the count goes to 0-2 on Maki. So no balls and 2 strikes. Got a young lady who's playing with us this year, the kids that I'm working with, as there's a fastball swung on and missed, and Maki's down on strikes. Surprisingly, because he took a couple wild hacks there. Maki gone in the books for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Yoshi Setsugo. And she's been named to one of the final 25 for the provincial team, which would be like a state team for under 16 girls, under 16 women. As the left-handed hitting Setsugo steps in. He's 1 for 1 tonight as he drilled the fastball into the batter's eye his first time up. He's got the only run of the game. The first pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. As there's a breaking ball that's catching the outside corner, and the count goes even at 1-1. Harrison is throwing out the numbers. I always say I don't believe the numbers unless I'm holding the gun. It could be whatever number you want. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 2-1. Just like at practice, you get young players. They always talk about how hard they throw, and it starts off, and by the time they leave, everybody's throwing 90. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to the right side, fielded in shallow right field by Kawabata. He throws to first, and Setsugo's going to be gone on a ground out 4-3. So 2 up and 2 away. This has got all the earmarks of the Friday game on just how quickly this is. Be through 4 innings in under an hour. That would be pretty sweet. So 2 in the books, and that is going to bring up the third baseman in Toshiro Miyazaki. Gracie Lynn has got all the rest as the pitch is on the way. And it's a first pitch fastball that is taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Miyazaki shaking his head, not liking the call. Batting .289 on the year with that homer and 14 RBIs. His power production is certainly well down from years past. There's a fastball swung on its chop past the third base coach. Foul. Count is 0-2. And at a garage sale, well, there's a gun that you can get, which is pretty cheap. I have to go and look at it. It's fairly economical. It's not a stalker or a jugs gun or anything like that. But it is fairly accurate. It's actually really accurate. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into left field. Moving over to make the catch, and that is going to be the left fielder for the Fighters, Yazawa. He'll haul it in for the third out of the inning, and the BayStars go quietly in their half of the fourth. We're moving along here at a pretty good clip. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're now moving to the top of the 5th inning. Your score is the BayStars won, the Fighters no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. It is a 1-0 ball game right after this. We got a score line of 1-0 for the BayStars. Fighters coming to bat here in the top of the fifth, and we'll be back in just a couple moments with all of the action. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat here for the Fighters, the heart of the order, Gunji, Reyes, and Manami, as they will be facing the right-hander here, Ishida, who will begin his fifth inning of work. 12 in a row set down on only 38 pitches through 4 innings. And the first pitch is a knee-high fastball taken for a call. Strike, count is 0-1. My piece to you guys would be is there's a radar gun out there called Pocket Radar. It's literally in the size of your hand, fits in your pocket. I don't get any endorsement for this as it's a breaking ball that misses down. We used to stand with the scouts, and the scouts would have the stalkers and the jugs guns and everything else, and they'd be within 1 mile. It's fantastic. The difference is that your range, unlike a stalker or jugs gun, as there was a breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded by Mori, moving to his left, fires to first, and Gunji's retired on a ground out 6-3. He's out for the first out of the inning. I was going to bring up the first baseman, Franmil Reyes. The difference is the range. You're only got about 60 feet. So you kind of got to be standing really pretty much behind home plate if you're watching, or you can be right at the backstop. That's about where the range is going to end for you. If you're much further back, you could be out of range. It's not going to get you an accurate reading. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Reyes. Reyes today 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up, as the right-hander holds to the set and now delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble, and we are tied. It is about a 20-row blast into the seats, and the first hit of the ball game for the Fighters has left the yard as Franmil Reyes has deposited his 12th home run of the year into the left center field seats, and we are locked now at ones. So the Fighters have tied it all up. Our friend God is Great is in the house, going pretty good. First hit of the ball game for the Franimal is deposited into the seats. And now he comes and he gets the low fives, the high fives, and everything else along the way. And he does his deal. And he pounds on his chest. I think he looks like he's King Kong in a lot of ways. As the first pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. We've got Sensei Domino in the house, I think it is. Hello and welcome. Appreciate you for popping in tonight. So 1 ball and no strikes to Chusei Manami. Manami is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into left center field, and this ball could be trouble. And just like that, it is now 2-1 for the Fighters as Manami goes back-to-back with Reyes to put the Fighters out in front 2-1. Absolutely clobbered. So the fireworks have started early in Yokohama with back-to-back blasts off the bat of Reyes and Manami. We got ourselves a brand new ball game here as the Fighters are now in front 2-1. Well, that brings Shu Yamagata to the plate. Yamagata is 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to second. 13 in a row retired by the BayStars starter to start the ball game. And then back-to-back blasts off the bat of Reyes and Manami have now made the scoreline 2-1 for the Fighters. Manami sporting a dyed hair of red as that pitch is swung on and fouled away by Yamagata. Count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Everything's going pretty good around here. Sense of Domino 15. I think that's how I say it, if I'm saying it properly. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball missing down, and the count goes even to 1-1. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. And there's another pitch that was swung on and fouled away, and it's 1-2 to Yamagata. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say that Yamagata didn't go, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's hammered down the left field line, and it's going to be fair. It's into the corner. Rounding first and heading into second with a stand-up double is Yamagata. And I got to tell you, that's concerning because pretty much as the pitching coach is on a full sprint to the mound, as what I would be, Ishida was cruising along, 13 in a row retired, and these have been 3 loud hits. Reyes and Manami with the blasts in the left center field, and then Yamagata with the hook barrel down the left field line for a double, and that is going to bring the second baseman Daigo Kawabata to the plate. So Fighters enjoying a 2-1 lead here. Yeah, Gracie Lynn says, how do you go from cruising to all of a sudden getting 3 back-to-back blasts? Very interesting. And both of the pitches that were delivered to Reyes and Manami were 1-0 pitches. And 1-0 fastballs, nonetheless. So good hitters counts. Here's the pitch. And there's a fastball swung. And this ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball is going to get trouble. And this is off the wall. This is going to get another run in. As rounding in into second and sliding in safely is Kawabata. And that's going to bring home Yamagata with the 3rd run of the inning. So 4 balls in a row, absolutely obliterated. It's almost like they know the pitches are coming. Maybe they borrowed the Houston Astros trash can so they can give them some communication. But that is going to bring the pitcher to the plate in Shoma Kanamura. 3-1 lead now here for the Fighters. They've got runs on the board in a hurry. So Kanamura coming to the plate, who's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his only time up. Yeah, they must have brought the balls from 2017 out because it is sort of the dead ball era for sure. Not a lot of home runs going on in the NPB right now. There was some controversy a few years ago that the commissioner in the NPB had basically, there's a fastball taken at the knees for called strike. Count is 0-1 to Kanamura. Had to step aside because they acknowledged that the balls were juiced. Go back to 2017, balls were flying out of the games at about 3 times the rate that they are now. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-handed pitcher Ishida holds set, now delivers. Fastball just misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1 on Kanamura. Yeah, it's almost like they know the pitches are coming. Somebody tipping the pitches? I'm not sure, but... And then the first pitch that Kawabata saw was blistered as well. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped up the middle, fielded neatly by the shortstop Mori, who throws to first. It's a ground out 6-3. That's going to retire Kanamura for the 2nd out of the inning. It is going to advance Kawabata over to 3rd. So he gets the job done in high 5, does Kanamura, and that is going to bring up the top of the order in Yazawa. Well, for Yazawa, he is 0 for 2 today. He has grounded to first, and he has grounded back to the pitcher in his 2 trips to the plate. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Ishida. So if you came into the fifth inning thinking it was going to be an under, I'm not sure what the first 5 were, but that might have turned that on the table here with 4 runs total now. As that ball is grounded foul, and the count is quickly 0-1. Izawa digs himself back in here, ready to face the offering from the righty. As he kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball missing down and away. It counts 1-1. For those of you who may or may not know, Izawa is a dual. He also pitches. Last couple of seasons, he has come out of the bullpen for the Fighters. Some RSO Guilty says, well, the BayStars come back. There's a fastball swung on its chop foul behind home plate, and the count goes to 1-2. Yeah, you can't count the BayStars out at home. That's for certain. They do play good ball. The Fighters are looking to try to get the 3rd game of this series. And they do have a pretty good bullpen, do Hokkaido. So here comes the 1-2 pitch to Izawa as the right-hander kicks and fires. It's a changeup that misses down. Count goes to 2-2 on Izawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some RSO Guilty says, where can I watch this live? Well, if you're in Japan, you can watch it on J-Sport. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As it's on its way, it is a fastball swung on and grounded foul down the first base line, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is the 7th hitter to come to the plate for the Fighters here in the 5th inning. It was only 38 pitches through 4 innings for Ishida, and here he's already thrown 21 in the 5th alone. So here comes the 2-2 offering. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes to 3-2. Runner at third is Kawabata. There is 2 gone here in the 5th. 3 runs already on the board for the Fighters, and they're sniffing for more. As the right-hander Ishida has been knocked around this inning, unlike any of the end of their innings in this ball game. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the right side. Fielded by Maki, he throws to first, and Izawa retired on a ground out 4-3. He's done for the 3rd out of the inning, and that'll do the Fighters for the Fighters in the 5th. 3 runs in the inning, 2 big blasts off the bats of Reyes and Manami to get things going, and an RBI double from Kawabata. So 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 runner left the board. We are moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Half of the game is in the books, and your score right now is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 3, Yokohama DeNA BayStars 1. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being here in just a few.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Cheyenne Matsuo and then Kaito Mori and Yataro Ishida to come to bat here in the 5th inning for Yokohama. as it is a 3-1 lead now for the Fighters as they had a 3-run uprising in the 5th inning. Back-to-back home runs from Reyes and Manami got the party started, and then back-to-back doubles from Yamagata and Kamikawabata had added that 3rd run. There's a breaking ball taken by Masudo, and the count is quickly 0-1. Masudo reached on an error his first time up as he grounds that one foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander getting the sign from his catcher as he kicks and fires, and Kanamura delivers a breaking ball, swung on, it's grounded up the middle, and Matsuo's got himself a single here, and that will bring up the shortstop in Kaido Mori. Just taking a quick peek here to make sure that actually they did not rule that as an error, interestingly enough. So they did call that a hit. I don't know about that. That's some home cooking there for Yokohama. So that's Masuo's 2nd hit of the ball game. They credit him with a hit back in the 2nd inning, take away the error from Kiyomiya. So Matsuo aboard for the 2nd time tonight. And that is going to bring up Mori to the plate, who bounced into a fielder's choices last time up. As the right-hander Kanamura holds set, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Tigers are winning 4-0 for your pleasure there, Harrison. As there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. But we'll catch up on the scores a little bit later. Remember, after the half inning, they like to do a Japanese halftime. That's where we'll take our break here. The Pacific League, it's usually about 5 minutes. Here it's a 2 or 3 minute break. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gracie Lynn says Japanese halftime is likely when she'll retire for the night. Yeah, we were cruising along there. We thought we were going to have something special until the fireworks erupted in the top of the 5th. So much for that perfect game that was brewing. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second. They go to second for 1, back to first. Oh, that's a nice double play. That's going to go in the books as a 4-6-3 variety. And that will retire Mori for the back end, and Matsuo gone for the first out. And that'll bring up the pitcher in Yutaro Ishida. Gracie Lynn said about the Braves disrespecting Craig Kimbrell. No, actually, I haven't. I heard that he signed with the Braves. There's a first pitch, a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Ishida. But I really didn't see what happened there. I know that they blew a game against the Diamondbacks on Friday. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop Yamagata. It's going to go as a ground out, 6-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the BayStars in inning number 5. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are through 5 complete. Your score is the Fighters 3 and the BayStars 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. I got to take a little time up because I got to refresh my drink. Put the drums on mute, and we'll be back, or on loop, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're just taking a look. So Gracie Lynn was giving the update on Craig Kimbrell. Very interesting. I think probably Kimbrell, for all intents and purposes, is going to be a Hall of Famer. And one of the things that I would have to say is that he's going to go down as one of the greatest relievers in the history of the game. I know somebody who was, when he was with the Cubs, were saying that Kimbrell, when things would go well, he was pretty good. When things would go sideways, he would point the finger at a lot of his teammates. So there was a kind of a love-hate relationship with his teammates, especially those of the bullpen. Not everybody really appreciated him or liked him per se. Well, Ishida is ready to go here. It's going to be Isobata, Kiyomiya, and Gunji to get things going here for the Fighters. And the first pitch breaking ball misses outside for a ball. 61 pitches through 5 for the right-hander of the BayStars. As the right-hander again works himself into the motion and delivers. And there's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on shallow left field. Coming in on it with plenty of room to make the catch is Setsugo, and that's going to retire Isobata for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That'll bring up the third baseman and Kentaro Kiyomiya. Harrison's loving Steve's content. Steve Rademacher puts out something every single day. And sometimes we do some stuff for him, and there'll be some of one of our videos coming up here in the next little bit. I don't know if he gets the love he necessarily deserves. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. And he does it for fun. He does it for his own enjoyment, which is great to see and great to know. There's a pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. Gracie Lynn says, understands, hate how the Braves throw an icon like that aside after he went through the whole problem to get back. Well, there might be more to the story. I don't know sometimes. Sometimes guys might be finished anyway. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. And maybe before the game, that might have been planned out where they said, hey, he goes out and pitches. And he might just say, hey, I want to call it a career. They'll cut bait. We don't know that side. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, unless Kimbrell comes out publicly and says something different. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Sometimes guys will want to go out on a high. Our friend Harrison's tapping out. Harrison, thanks for stopping in. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. Count now goes to 3-2 on Kiyomiya. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kiyomiya has flown out twice tonight, left and to center as the pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball that just misses down. It's going to be ball 4. And yeah, as we were saying about Ishida earlier, that he obviously in that last half inning, now he's just lost a little bit of touch on his pitches. That pitch there missed down. It was a good call by the plate umpire. Gracie Lynn says he certainly don't know that side. It could be the optics didn't look that good. Sensadomino says, I was thinking that was a possibility. He just wanted to pitch one more time with his original club. That could have been the case. Maybe even sometimes guys will be rehabbed from an injury and they know they just don't have it. They come back and just don't have that same stuff. And the first pitch is a breaking ball, misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Gunji. That's a hard process, or hard for a lot of people to feel that way. Can understand that totally, where people, they just don't, they play at a certain level, and then all of a sudden you get a little drop off and you don't know how to handle it. Fastball taken for a strike. Gunji showed bunt, pulled back, and took one right through the heart of the plate. BayStars are 3.5 games behind the Hanshin Tigers in second place in the Central League. They've been moving up the charts here recently, playing much better ball. 29-23 with 3 ties. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Kiyomiya. Gracie Lynn said he went to the first ever home game for the Braves' new AA affiliate in Columbus. Fighters are enjoying a 2.5 game lead over the Saitama Sea Blue Lions in the Pacific League as the right-hander Ishida throws over to first and diving back in time is the runner Kiyomiya. I saw Kimbrel pitch for the San Diego Padres a number of years ago. In fact, I think I've got a couple of pictures somewhere on my phone with him doing the deal where he's in that position, leaning into the plate. There's a breaking ball that just misses a bit low, and the count goes to 2-1 on Gunji. If I remember correct, it was the night I saw Max Scherzer go for the Nats against Andrew Kashner of the Padres. At the time, they were two pretty hot pitchers in the National League. It was a sellout crowd, Friday night crowd in San Diego. Good time to see a game there. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Gunji as the right-hander gets himself ready to go. And our friend Redbeard Breaks gives us a super chat. Appreciate there, Jimmy. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Supporting the channel in different ways. This game here was moving on at a pretty good clip. 4 innings through the under an hour. Now it's starting to look like we're going to be tight to see if we're going to get another one there. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Gunji. I have to say, though, some of the San Francisco crowds lately that I've seen have been waning a little bit. I don't know if that's the fact that the team is kind of a fringe playoff type of team, or maybe it has to do with the downtown being in a little disarray. There goes the runner, throw down to second. But is it going to be in time? Did they strike him out? If it was a strike him out, throw him out. But we don't know if that's going to be ball 4 because the count was full here to Gunji, but it's going to be ball 4. Gunji's going to be aboard with a walk. So the throw down to second base is meaningless as Kiyomiya will advance anyway. So now you've got runners at first and second with back-to-back walks. And it's going to bring Franmil Reyes to the plate, who is 1 for 2 today with a solo shot to get the scoring going in the 5th inning. So the Fighters are looking to put this one out of reach. There's runners at first and second, 1 gone here in the inning. Kiyomiya and Gunji have set the table for the big fellow. It is 12th homer of the year in the last inning. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses down. Gracie Lynn says, San Fran's got 35,000 every single day game all season, even midweek. Yeah, I know. I know the attendance. I know what the announced attendance piece is, but when you're looking at the games, there's a lot of empty seats in San Francisco. I don't know if they're counting the tickets sold or if they're counting the bums in the seats. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1 to Reyes. And I say that not a disrespect because San Fran has had some seriously good crowds. Watched a little bit when they played the Padres. I catch some of their other games from time to time as well, being on the coast, and a little bit of ways disappointing in terms of some of the attendance figures. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. This ball is going to get trouble. It's going to get over the head of the center fielder all the way to the wall. Rounding third and heading home is Kiyomiya, and cruising into second with a double is Franmil Reyes. And they have increased their lead to 4-1. So a double and an RBI for Reyes. Stopping at third is Gunji. Coming home to score is Kiyomiya with the 4th run of the ballgame for the Fighters. And the wheels are falling off the apple cart here for the BayStars pitching in the last inning and change. So if you're a fan of the Fighters, you got to be pumping a fist. If you're a fan of the BayStars, you might have thrown up in your mouth a couple of times because this has gone sideways in a hurry. That is a pretty cool stat. Padres and Giants have played over 150 games decided by one run. So you got to figure in 25 years. Well, they're not going to waste any time here facing Minami. The four fingers go up. He's going to get intentionally walked to load the bases. That'll set up a force. They're going to take their chances with Shu Yamagata. So runners at first, second, and third. Gunji at third. Reyes at second. Minami at first. Yamagata coming to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He doubled and scored a run in the last inning. But the Fighters looking to blow this game apart. A 4-1 lead here on the top of the sixth. And they're itching for more. As the right-hander holding to the set now delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses inside, and the count is 1-0. I'm not sure that they necessarily like that call or not. So 1 ball and no strikes it is, as the right-hander ready to go again. Infield is in here for the BayStars. They're looking to gun the runner down at the plate. Shida kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken at the knees for called strike. The count goes to 1-1 on Yamagata. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Pitch again from Ishida. Swung on, grounded to short. They're going to come home with it for 1. Back to first. And that's going to be an inning-ending double play. Oh, Yokohama able to wiggle themselves out of that. That's going to go into the books as a 6-2-3 double play. And that will do it here, as that will end it here for the Fighters in their half of the inning. Genji retired at the plate for the second out. The third out was Yamagata at first, and that will do it here for the Fighters. 1 run in the inning on the benefit of only 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move now to the bottom of the 6th inning, it is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 4, Yokohama DeNA BayStars 1. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. And our friend Gracie Lynn says she's tapping out. She's heading off to bed. Can't say I blame you at this point. This game here is suddenly taking a little bit of a turn. A turn for the unexpected. We'll be back right after this because our friend Matt is going to take us away into the break.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Gracie Lynn hanging it up for the night. Well, we appreciate you for hanging out with us. It is next weekend. We are going to be away, but Friday we might call a game. Not 100% sure at this point yet. We'll have to see what the schedule looks like and if we're able to do it. If not, it'll be some midweek action, and we will look to do some of the stuff in the midweek as well. It is going to be the top of the order. It is going to be Kuwahara, Wataru, and Sano to come to bat. And the first pitch delivered from the right-hander Kanamura is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 76 pitches through 5 for Kanamura. As the right-hander ready to go again. And kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to be lined right to the glove of the second baseman, Kama Kawabata, as he was moving to his right. And that is going to retire Kuwahara for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. That'll bring up the right fielder in Ryuki Wataru. So for Wataru, 0 for 2 tonight, grounded to first and grounded to short. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Wataru batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Kanamura. Delivers a fastball that moves him off the plate. The count goes now to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander ready to go as he works himself into the set position. As he kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball swung on, is grounded over to first, fielded by Reyes. He flips it to the pitcher covering. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1 for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here for the BayStars. It's going to leave it all up to the first baseman in Kaida Sano. Well, for Sano, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown to left and walked in his 2 trips. As he gets himself settled in the batter's box, Kanamura ready to go here. And the first pitch from the right-hander on the way. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. The way this is going for Kanamura, just doing a little forward thinking, he's up second in the next inning. We'll know for sure where they stand with him if he gets a chance to hit again. He would bring him back out for another inning. There was a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-2. It was an unconventional 1-2-3 inning in the 5th, as it was a double play to end the inning. But he has really settled down after the second inning. There was a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Santa waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Racing back, looking up, and this one's gone. A home run for Sano. That ball just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. And that ball is going to get itself into the seats, and that's going to cut the lead to 4-2. So 3 big blasts in this game, all solo shots. 2 for the Fighters, and now 1 here off the bat of Sano. That is going to give the BayStars a shot to get back into this game as they now trail 4-2. Just got to keep chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. Well, that brings to the plate Shugo Maki. As Maki steps to the dish, he's 0 for 2 today, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. Count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Right-hander ready to go again as he kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. This ball could be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. And it's back-to-back homers as Shugo Maki has gone yard. And they've cut the lead to 4-3. So just like that, when our friend Gracie Lynn leaves, you know what happens. The home runs and the offense start to fly in. Maybe they should let Gracie know to come back to slow it down a little bit. So now a 4-3 lead, and it's going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound on a trot. This game far from over. Balls are flying out of the park. That's the second time tonight we've seen back-to-back homers. Once for the Fighters and now for the BayStars. It's going to bring Yoshi Satsugo to the plate. So there are so far 7 runs in this ball game, and 5 of the runs have come from solo shots. So the fireworks beginning early in Yokohama. Well, that brings Satsugo to the plate with 2 gone here. 1 for 2 tonight with that solo shot in the second. He's also grounded out. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Count is 0-1. So as people were exiting, people are coming back into the stream. We have ourselves a brand new ball game, it seems again. 4-3 here for the Fighters. As the 0-1 pitch on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It is popped up. And this is just in shallow right field. Moving back underneath it is Kamikawa Bada, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the 6th inning. Well, 2/3 of the game was in the books. We got ourselves a ball game here, everybody. 2 runs in the inning on 2 solo home runs. There was 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Moving to the top of the 7th inning, your score is the Fighters 4 and the BayStars 3. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few, right after this timeout. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning. Your score is 4-3 for the Fighters over the BayStars. We'll be back in just a bit.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and it is going to be the Fighters with a 4-3 lead over the BayStars, moving to the top of inning number 7. Slated to come to bat for the Fighters will be Kamikawa Bada, Kanamura, and the top of the order, Iazawa. We'll have to stay tuned here to see if Kanamura's day will continue. We thought there was a possibility till those 2 solo shots in the bottom half of inning number 6 that might have changed the mind of the manager Shinjo. It looks like Kanamura's day is probably over as they pan into the dugout to take a look. I just get the feeling that the pitching coach Kato is telling him, have a seat and enjoy the rest of the game. Well, that is going to bring Kamikawa Bada to the plate. He is 1 for 2 in this one. He had a RBI double his last time up to bring home Shu Yamagata. As we are ready to resume the action here. As the first pitch is coming, we also have a new pitcher here for the Yokohama Ball Club. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0. The new pitcher for Yokohama is number 13, Hiromo Issei. So Issei on in relief. As the first pitch, or the second pitch coming, breaking ball just misses outside. It goes even to 1-1. So Issei on in relief of the starter Ishida. So kind of tale of 2 pitchers here. 1-1 on the way. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. It was a late jump on this one here tonight to get it up, but we're glad we did. As the 1-2 offering coming from the right-hander who kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded neatly by Mackey. He throws to first. That's going to go in the books as a ground out, 4-3. So 1 gone here. It'll bring up the pitcher spot in Shoma Kanamura. But that's not going to happen, as we are going to have ourselves a pinch hitter. So Kanamura's night is done, as it is going to be Daiki Asama coming to pinch hit here. For Asama on the season, 12 for 67, a homer and 3 RBIs. So it'll be a pitching parade from here on out for Hokkaido. And there's a first pitch swung on fastball. It's lifted foul. It's going to drift into the seats behind home plate. And the count is quickly 0-1, so no balls and 1 strike. So no balls and 1 strike to Asama. That'll be the top of the order. Kota Yazawa to follow here. BayStars jumped out to an early 1-0 lead, and then the Fighters responded with 4 of their own. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 0-2. And then back-to-back home runs by the BayStars in the bottom half of the 6th inning have narrowed the gap to 4-3. So Issei getting his sign from his catcher as he works himself to the belt. And here comes the 0-2 as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Try to squeeze a couple major league games in during the week. We haven't looked that far ahead. Probably do a couple of NPB games midweek. As we mentioned before, the interleague play. As the 1-2 is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It is hit up the middle for a base hit. Asama's got himself aboard with a 1-out single, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Kota Yazawa. I have to say, Issei probably not happy with himself there. That pitch there was way too good a pitch. 1-2, left it right over the heart of the plate. And Asama made no doubt about it as he was able to hammer that pitch up the middle. And that'll bring up Yazawa to the dish. So 1 runner aboard here. As the left-handed hitting Yazawa stepping to the plate. 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded to the pitcher, grounded to first, and grounded to the second baseman. The pitch on the way as a fastball swung on is grounded over to second. Mackey goes to second for 1. Nice slide there by Asama to break up the potential double play. It's going to go in the books as a fielder's choice. 4-6 to erase Asama for the second out of the inning. Yazawa safe on the trail side. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Ryota Isabata. Nice play there by Mackey and a good jump pivot by him to throw to second. As we said, Asama broke up the potential for the double play. Nice play there by Mori to hold his ground on the bag. And that is going to bring Isobata to the plate. Isabata 0 for 3 today is grounded to first, grounded to second, and flown to left. As they throw to first base and diving back is the runner Yazawa. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball center cut taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Balls and 1 strike. Right-hander again works to the set. Here comes the pitch. Instead, they throw over to first, and again diving back in time is the runner Yazawa. Yazawa does have 3 stolen bases this year. Can run a little bit, but as we mentioned, he has also a duel, has pitched in the past here for the Fighters. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, and Isabata fights that one off. It's going to be lifted foul down the left field line, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. It was a split finger pitch that was kind of 3/4 armed by Issei, and the ball just sort of hung up there. So no balls and 2 strikes to Isabata. Right-hander again ready to go back to work. Checks the runner at first. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Instead, they fire to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner. So still no balls and 2 strikes to Isabata. Keep an eye here. This would be a good place for Yazawa to run. If he gets gunned down at second base, then you got Isabata to lead off the next inning. And there's a fastball that misses up. That was pretty close. I don't see too many balks in the NPB, but that's about as close as a balk as you're going to get. I don't know if Issei really came set there. Very rare that you see a balk in the NPB. And here comes the 1-2. As he kicks and delivers, there goes the runner. It is swung on. It is popped up over on the third base side. It's playable. Moving over underneath it is the third baseman, Miyazaki. He's going to haul it in. And Isobata is going to be retired for the third out of the inning, and it'll do it here for the Fighters in inning number 7. Well, we had no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and one runner left aboard. We're now through 6.5. Your score is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 4 and the Yokohama DeNA BayStars 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few, right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change as there is going to be a new right-handed pitcher coming in here for the Fighters. And this is going to be Taisho Tamai as he will come on in relief of Kanamura. So the battle of the bullpens is about to take place now. So Tamai just completing his warm-up tosses. And we are ready to resume the action. He is going to be facing Miyazaki, Matsuo, and Mori, the Triple M portion of the lineup, as they come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 7. 4-3, the Fighters have the lead. BayStars jumped out to that early 1-0 lead. Fighters put 4 on the board. And part of a couple of solo shots, BayStars looking to battle back. All the BayStar home runs tonight, or all the BayStar runs have come on home runs tonight. 3 solo shots. The first pitch to Miyazaki is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Interleague play, as this is the second series that is winding up. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. We did a podcast earlier this week, and we talked a little bit about the interleague play and the history of it. This is technically it would be the 21st season, but because during the pandemic, as there was a fastball ticket for a called strike, ball and 2 strikes to Miyazaki, they did not have the interleague play that particular year in 2020. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Miyazaki as the right-hander Tamai getting his signs. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul. And the count is going to remain at 1-2 to Miyazaki. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Good crowd on hand in Yokohama. As we mentioned earlier, their attendance has been great this year and setting team records. I think they do that intentionally where they increase it by 1 at a time, it seems like. 1-2 on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Fielded on a pretty interesting hop there by Yamagata. throws to first. That's going to be a ground out, 6-3 for the first out of the inning. A little bit of flair there by the shortstop. So one gone, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Cheyenne Matsuo. And for Matsuo, he is 2 for 2 today. He's got 2 of the 5 hits from the BayStars in this one. Both of them have been singles. In the first inning, we thought it was an error. He would have charged to Kiyomiya, but he ended up getting himself a hit out of that. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul on the third base side. Count is 0-1. With the 2 hits in today's ball game, Matsuo has raised his average up to 320 on the season, 24 for 75. Getting to see a lot of action here from this young catcher of the BayStars. Here's the 0-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander again working to the set. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. As he delivers a breaking ball that misses outside, the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. At the bottom of the 7th inning, it is a 4-3 Fighters lead. BayStars looking to claw their way back into this one here as the right-hander works set. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded to short. Fielded neatly by Yamagata. Throws to first. And just like the first out, much the same here, as it is going to be a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the shortstop in Kaito Mori. The pitcher's spot in the batting order is next for Yokohama, so we'll see how that will play out. If Issei, well, definitely Issei is not going to come to bat, one would have to think. But the question will be is, will Issei come out for another inning? There's a fastball that is swung through and missed. Comes quickly 0-1 to Mori. Mori bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up, and he grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his last time up. Average is plummeted to 173 on the year. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander again working himself into the set position. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch is on the way. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Again, the right-hander getting the sign from his catcher. He works himself into the set. 1-2 on the way. Kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on it. It's chopped over to the right side. Fielded on the run by Kawakawabata. He underhand flips to first. That's going to do it. Mori gone on a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for Yokohama in their half of the 7th inning. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We'll have to keep an eye here. Are the BayStars going to be making a switch? The manager's out. We'll see if Issei's night is done. And if they are going to be making, or maybe it's a double switch, we'll check that out when we return right after this. It is a 4-3 ball game when we return in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change as the BayStars are going to their bullpen, and we have ourselves Rowan Wick on the mound. So Wick, the Canadian right-hander, is the only Canadian in the NPB at the moment, at least at the NPB, should say at the NPB level. There are some in the farm. 19th appearance of the year. He's got a sparkling 0.47 ERA. He started a little bit difficult in the beginning of the season, and then he has really settled down, has Wick. He has put a string of consecutive games together without allowing an earned run, as he will be coming in here. There also looks like there is another defensive change, as Yokohama will be turning to Yoda Kyoto at short. So by all intents and purposes, I think that is a double switch. We'll have to wait and see if that is the case. It would be the pitchers or the spot in the order coming up for the pitcher in the next half inning. Ironically, Rowan Wick had 20-plus homers in A-ball with Johnson City. He was with the St. Louis Cardinals organization. He was originally an outfielder or a catcher, then an outfielder in the Cardinals organization. Looks like he's trimmed down a little bit, has Wick, as the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Kentaro Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya today is officially 0 for 2. He's flown to left and flown to center. He's also walked. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to the right side. A great play there by Mackey, fielding it in shallow right field, doing a 360 and throwing to first. That is going to retire Kiyomiya on a ground out, 4-3 for the first out of the inning. Shugo Maki's been a busy guy tonight, as by our accounts, that looks like it is the 5th ground out that he's had. He's also caught a pop fly. So if I say that he's been involved in 6 plays, that might be on the light side. We'll have to go back and take a finer look. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit, as Yuya Gunji is aboard with a single. So he's got himself a single to lead it off, and that's going to bring up the first baseman in Franmil Reyes. So Reyes coming to bat here. He is 2 for 3. He's homered, he's doubled, and he is struck out looking, has the big fella. He's also knocked in a pair of runs tonight. 12 homers and 30 runs driven in now on the year for the big fella. As the pitch is a breaking ball that backs Reyes off the plate, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. He can turn around the fastball, so Wick's going to have to be careful here on how he pitches the big fella. So here comes the 1-0 offering as the right-hander holds set, now delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The home plate umpire says he got a piece of it, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Reyes. That's one thing with Wick. His breaking ball has really changed the dynamic of his game as he's gotten on. He was with Team Canada World Baseball Classic a couple classics ago. He was really just an arm, but no real secondary pitch, but the breaking ball has come along for him. Fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2 to Reyes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chusei Manami waiting his turn on deck. As the right-hander ready to deliver. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count now remains at 1-2. Chusei Manami, the other home run for the Fighters in this one tonight, waits his turn on deck. There's another breaking ball missing down. Count is 2-2 to Reyes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I was talking about the uniforms the other day. Both of these ball clubs here, and with Fanatics, who's taken over, I don't like the uniforms that they are producing here in the NPB that kind of are cheap. No stitched on uniform names or numbers. As there's a fastball swung on, it is fouled away. And right up into the family jewels of Franmil Reyes. As he fouled that pitch off, he's going to walk around gingerly here for a moment. It looked like it got him on the inside of the leg and then came up and hit him right in the cup. So it remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Reyes kind of doubles over a little bit. It never really prevents it kind of will, I guess the best way I could put it, you move around a little gingerly after you get hit there. With protection or without, you're still, shakes you up a little bit, can clear the sinuses. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fastball comes inside and backs Reyes off the plate. That pitch was nearly at 100 miles an hour. That was at 99 on the gun here. So the count now is 3-2 to Reyes. It's been a steady diet of breaking balls, and then you get that nearly 100-mile-an-hour heater pounding in under your hands. That'll get you off the plate. I would expect that Wick will probably go back to the breaking ball again. Runner at first is Gunji. 1 gone here in the 8th. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Reyes. As Wick leans in, gets his sign, and he holds to the set. Here comes the 3-2 offering, but instead Wick throws a token toss over to first base. Getting back easily in time is the runner Gunji. So Wick again leaning in, and he works himself into the set position. Here comes the 3-2. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Reyes waggling the bat. Right-hander Wick working himself into the set position. Here comes the 3-2 offering. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is Wataru, and he makes the catch. That is going to retire Reyes for the 2nd out of the inning. So quite the battle there. It was a 9-pitch at bat. He's gone for the 2nd out. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder and Chusei Minami. Good pitch there by Wick. He came down and got it on the more of the handle of the bat. As they throw over to first base, and getting back easily is the runner Gunji. Minami standing in at the plate, didn't even know that the pitch had got, or the throw had gone over to first. Pretty much focused on getting himself set in the batter's box. Here comes the first offering. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. That pitch was at 96 on the gun. So no balls and 1 strike to Minami. Top of the 8th inning here as Wick delivers. Here's a fastball that comes up and in. And it backs Minami off the plate. That there was at 97. Wick acknowledging that one got away from him. Minami ends up backing out of the box. Wick with the power arm here. Again, he leans in, getting the sign. As the 1-1 is ready to come here. Wick kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away. The count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Minami here today has been intentionally walked. He's hit a solo homer and struck out. So officially 1 for 2 entering this at bat. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. On the way, breaking ball catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-2. So let's see if they play some good old-fashioned hardball here, and if Wick's going to rear back and let her rip, and if Minami is going to be able to turn it around. I'd love to see this right now. Power versus power. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to second. Mackey fields it. He flips it to the shortstop covering. And that is going to do it, as Manami is going to be retired. Is going to retire actually. Gunji at second on the fielder's choice, 4-6. He's gone for out number 3. And that will do it here for the Fighters in their half of the inning. The 8th inning, they had no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Fighters 4 and the BayStars 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this time out.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitting spots in the batting order to come to bat here for the BayStars. We're just waiting to see if that is going to be double switch, because as we mentioned before, Rowan Wick and the shortstop were entering into the ball game news. We'll have to wait and see exactly what that will stand. And we're also waiting to see confirmation if it is going to be a pitching change for the Fighters, as we do anticipate that that will probably be the case as well. Just waiting on the updates. It does look like it will be a new Fighter right-hander that is coming into the ball game, and this is going to be number 96, and this is Sun Yi Lee. So Sun Yi Lee on in relief, one of the Taiwanese players, as he will take over for Tamai. So this is our first look at Lee. As we mentioned before, it was Gulin Ru Yang who had left his last start early. And after having a stretch of a couple of good starts, as he will be finished. They look like there are also some defensive changes here. I'll have to catch those ones up for you as they are able to come to bat. And here comes the first offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded foul past the first baseman here, and that's going to run the count quickly to 0-1. It looks like it is the shortstop batting here for Yokohama, and if that is the case, it would be Yoda Kyoda. As we said, there was a double switch. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So that would mean the pitcher's spot would be where Mori once occupied in the 8th position. So here comes the 1-1 offering to Kyoda. As the pitch is a fastball misses up. They peel over to third base, but they say he didn't go. It runs the count to 2-1. So Lee has a really high leg kick. Really super high as the right-hander kicks and delivers again. There's a fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul. He does look like he brings it up at around 93 miles an hour. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Kyoda. So Sun Yi Lee on the hill here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the pitch is on the way, there's another fastball swung on and lifted foul down the third base line, and the count remains at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And heading over to get some more spray on the bat is Kyoto. Bottom of the 8th inning, it is a 4-3 Fighters lead. So a couple of arms that we haven't seen before. Certainly Sun here, or Sun Yi Lee, as the pitch on the way is a breaking ball. Take it for a called third strike. Oh, he locked up Kyoto. Kyoto gone for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the top of the order. And Masayuki Kuwahara. So Kuwahara coming to the plate, 0 for 3, is grounded to short. He's popped to short, and he is lined to second. So he steps in here ready to face the offering from the right-hander Lee, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Boy, that's a pretty good breaking ball. He has locked up the last 2 hitters. Both times really froze them. So here comes the 0-1 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. I hope he doesn't fall in love with his breaking ball. It's been good to see him use his heater and then come back to that. Instead, now he's tipped his hat twice with 2 breaking balls here to the leadoff hitter, Kuwahara. And the pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, and this is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. The count is 1-2 to Kuwahara. Actually, that last pitch wasn't so much a breaking ball as much as it was a changeup. It was a changeup. It had an interesting spin to it, but it looked like it had the depth of the breaking ball that he had thrown a couple of times on the outside corner. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's at 94 on the gun. 2-2. I'm surprised he didn't use that a little earlier in the count. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, trying to sneak that one by the hitter. Here comes the 2-2. As the pitch is on the way, there's another fastball swung on. This ball's lifted into right field deep. Moving back underneath it is Manami, and he makes the catch. And Kuwahara is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder in Ryuki Wataru. Well, we're getting to a point in the ball game here where the game is starting to be, well, they're starting to get into the deep water. Let's just put it that way. As the right-hander ready to go here, Wataru stepping into the plate, 0 for 3 tonight. He is grounded to first twice and grounded to short once. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Wataru waiting here on the offering from the right-hander, who holds himself to the set. Pitch on the way. And there is a changeup swung on and missed. Oh, that was pretty deadly. That pitch there sunk away from the left-handed hitting Wataru. It's interesting. What he does is it's more of a pitchfork change than anything else. And that ball just sort of fades away as the 1-1 on the way here. There's a fastball swung on, chopped right back to the pitcher. Fields it, throws to first, and that is going to retire Wataru. It's going to go down in the books as a ground out 1-3, and so Lee comes in and does his job as the Taiwanese right-hander gets high fives all the way around. There was no runs, there were no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board here in the 8th. We're going to the top of the 9th inning. Your score is the Fighters 4 and the BayStars 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few moments. Top of the 9th inning is just around the corner. We'll be back after this. Some updates with scores from around the NPB. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Giants have a 1-0 lead over the Eagles. It is the top of the 9th inning, and the Swallows have a 4-2 lead over the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. It is 3-0 for the Dragons over the Marines. That's in the top of the 9th inning. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Tigers have a 4-1 lead over the Buffaloes. Bottom of the 8th inning, it's a 10 spot on the board for the Carp over the Lions. Of course, this game here, it is 4-3 for the Fighters. As it is, looks like it is it still going to be Wick coming on here for another inning of work? We're going to wait and see here. It sure looks like it is. Rowan Wick coming back out for the 2nd inning here. Michael S. pops in here to ask, where can I watch the game? You can watch it on J-Sport if you're in Japan. So that is going to bring to the plate here, or scheduled to come to bat, will be Yamagata Kamikau Kabata. And then the pitcher's spot, as the first pitch is a fastball taken by Yamagata for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. So Wick on for his 2nd inning of work. Very interesting. 17 pitches in inning number 1. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on it, is tapped slowly down the third base line, fielded by the catcher. Oh, what a brilliant play by Matsuo, who fields it and fires to first, and that is going to retire Yamagata. It's going to go down as a ground out, 2-3 for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Daigo Kamikawabata. So Kamikawabata coming to the bat. As he is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a double and an RBI to his name. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Kamikawabata. Wick again holds to the set, now delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander Wick again holds set. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As the right-hander again throws, and it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 9th inning, Fighters have a 4-3 lead over the BayStars. As Wick works himself to the set position, here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, slated to come to bat will be Sano, Maki, and Satsugo for the BayStars. As Wick works himself back into the set position, and the 2-2 is on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is tapped softly over to short, fielded by the shortstop. Oh, what a beautiful play by Kyoto, who fires to first, and that is going to retire Kamikawabata on a ground out, 6-3 for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and it's going to leave it all up to the pitcher and Daiki Asama. Well, check that up. It's the pitcher's place. Daiki Asama was the batter. It was the batter who pinch hit the last time. I assume we're going to get a pinch hitter here again. We'll have to wait and see what they've got coming up. Here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. This is number 58 batting here. This is Taiki Narama. As the pitch to Narama just misses upstairs, the count goes to 1-1. So Narama has come in to play third base. He was one of the substitutes in the last inning. There's a breaking ball taken for a strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. I'm not so sure that was a strike, but the home plate umpire says so. And there was no argument from the BayStars or Rowan Wick for sure. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. The count is now 1-2 as it remains here to Narama. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is as the right-hander works set. Now delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats, and the count remains at 1-2. As the 1-2 is on the way, there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Narama stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the top of the 9th inning. Fighters go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is 4-3 for the Fighters over the BayStars. Sir Grimori comes in and says first Japan League baseball game that he's watching. Notice in the 9th, home team always bats last. Visitors are always the guests, and they hit first. That will answer your question. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Hang tight, everybody. It is the 9th inning when we return bottom half after this. It is the bottom half of inning number 9. We'll be back in just a moment, right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the closer for the Fighters, Seiji Tanaka, coming on in relief here to try to seal the deal. He has got himself 11 saves this year, does the right-hander, as he is going to try to finish this one off here for the Fighters here in inning number 9. It'll be facing Kaida Sano, Shigomaki, and Yoshi Setsugo, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the BayStars here when they come to bat in their half of the 9th inning. So Sano, who will come to the plate, is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a home run in 2 trips. He's also drawn a walk. All 3 of the Yokohama runs have come via home run. All of them have been solo shots as they come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 9. It has been an entertaining ball game here for certain, as it was pretty much a seesaw affair. The starting pitcher, Ishida, for the Yokohama Ball Club, retired the first 13 Fighters batters that he faced, and he gave up 3 runs in a pretty quick succession in the 5th inning to allow the Fighters to take the lead. And so far, they've added to it, and they've been able to hold off the BayStars so far. So here comes the first offering to Kaida Sano as the right-hander delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Sano. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander, again, working himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and fires, there's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. If you just joined us, 5 of the 7 runs in this game have come off of home runs. Back-to-back homers by Reyes and Manami, the 3 home runs by the BayStars, and then it was a couple of hits that drove in the other for the Fighters in this one, as that fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count remains at 0-2, so the ball's in 2 strikes. When this game is done, we'll give you the full recap of this one. We'll also give you the roundup around the NPB, and we'll shut it down for the night. As the 0-2 pitch ready to come here from Tanaka. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that is swung on and missed. 96-mile-an-hour heater, and he blows it right by Sano. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. Now that's some good old-fashioned hardball right there. Letter high heater. Sano not able to catch up to that, as he is gone for out number 1, and that brings Maki to the plate. Maki homered his last time up. It was his 11th of the year. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Batting from the right side here against Tanaka. He's got that open stance, hands extended away from his body. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Maki. Right-hander against the right-hander. Tanaka getting the sign from his catcher as he works to the belt. And here comes the 1-0. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count runs even at 1-1. I think that Maki might have wanted that one back. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Right-handed hitting Shugo Maki waiting here on the offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle for a base hit. And Maki's got himself a 1-out single as he is aboard, and it's going to bring up the left fielder in Yoshi Satsugo. So now that brings the go-ahead run or the winning run to the plate, and it looks like Maki is going to be done for the night as Masaki Momori will come in to pinch run. So good piece of hitting there by Maki. Stayed inside the ball, was able to drive it up the middle for the base hit. And now that brings Yoshi Satsugo to the plate. Well, Satsugo 1 for 3 tonight. He hit homered off the batter's eye in center field his first time up. He's grounded to second, and he has popped to second. So batting from the left side here, one of the rare Japanese switch hitters. There's not too many of them in the NPB, but Satsugo fits that bill. And the first pitch fastball is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. We are here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Yokohama trailing by 1. They've got the runner at first with 1 gone. Satsugo waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Tanaka. And now Tanaka steps off the backside of the rubber, and he feigns a throw to first base. Easily getting back is Masaki Momori. Momori, the runner at first, establishing his lead. Got to keep an eye on him. He can run. As the right-hander again steps off and feigns the throw over to first base. And again, easily getting back because there's no throw is Momori. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Satsugo waggling the bat. As he digs in, waiting for Tanaka. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside. There goes the runner down to second. The throw is in time. No, it's not. They say that he is safe, but there's the manager, Shinjo. He's coming out. He wants a look at this. He wants the VAR. As he's got himself a very interesting piece. I think that was a ball. I have to go back and take a look to see what that was. We're going to get a look at the replay ourselves. I thought the ball was in time. Now, whether the tag was in time or not, it's another question, as the umpires are going to go underneath the stands and have a look at this one themselves. I kind of like that they're making the decisions. They got to go down and look at the replays. Unlike in Major League Baseball, where the plays are being reviewed from New York. It was a good pick there by the shortstop. We're going to look at it. As I get the replay, I have a feeling he's safe. I think that the hand has got in, and I absolutely, it's not even, I'm not really now at this point, not really sure why they reviewed it. It wasn't even close. So I'm going to put that as a stolen base. This is going to have to be a quick review, one would think. So Momori is in scoring position here now for the BayStars. Yamagata got the ball on the short hop, but he wasn't able to apply the tag. The tag came on the shoulder of Momori sliding in. Here comes the home plate umpire, and safe is the call. And that's the right call. They burned a challenge. So Momori safe at second base. I didn't get to see if that was a ball or a strike on the last pitch. It was 0-1 count to Setsugo. I do believe the pitch was up, but we'll wait to get confirmation. So the outfield is now playing shallow. Infield is in normal depth. Waggling the bat is the left-handed hitting Setsugo. It is 1-1 strike. That pitch was up. So here comes the 1-1 as the right-hander Tanaka kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count is 1-2. I haven't seen Tanaka pitch in a while. Fastball, breaking ball is what we've witnessed. I haven't seen if he throws a splitter or not. I have to do my own scouting on this. If that is in his arsenal or not. So the right-hander holding set again. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On the way, it is a fastball that misses down. That looked like it was the splitter there. Going to look at that one in a moment, but 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some RSO Guilty says, who do you think are some of the best players in Japan currently? I'll take away the international players or the import players. We'll comment on that as we move along. I certainly think Shugo Maki for the BayStars is one of the best bats. He was always up in the offensive categories the last couple of years. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-2. Yuki Yanagita of the Fukuoka Ball Club is a little long in the tooth now. Even Kensuke Kondo on the wrong side of 30, so both of those players. Kondo can still hit. He's just a kind of a guy without a position, player without a position. He doesn't particularly play any position well. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Setsugo as he waits in here on the offering from Tanaka. Now he kicks and fires. It is a split finger that misses down. That's going to allow Setsugo to walk. Scheduled to bring up Toshiro Miyazaki to the plate with runners at first and second and 1 gone. And it looks like Setsugo's night is done. He's going to get pinch run for. So runners at first and second, 1 gone. There's a meeting at the mound as the catcher Gunji has gone out to talk to his pitcher. I don't know if it's still Gunji or not, or no, it's Tori Fushimi who's now come in to replace him. And now the pitching coach Kato has come out as they're going to have a full-on conference here on the mound. Kato signaling back to the dugout. I don't know what they're signaling for. Oh, they forgot the always popular water. So the home plate umpire now has come to get it, wanting the proceedings to pick up the pace a little bit here. That's one thing in Japan. It's funny. The pitching coaches will bring water out to the mound for the pitchers, sometimes even a towel so they can wipe themselves down with. Something you don't see in Major League Baseball. Samara So Guilty said, so who are some of the better Japanese players? We were just kind of rattling off a few. Certainly in the Pacific League, if I had to say the better Japanese players, probably the arms also too are, with certain pitchers like Imai, for the Lions, Miyagi, and others. But positional players, Tomoya Mori just seems like he's settling in as a DH with the Buffaloes these days. He was a one-time MVP of the Pacific League. So here is Miyazaki at the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Miyazaki batting from the right side here with 2 on. He is a double play candidate, I have to say. Doesn't particularly run the best. They do have some speed on the base paths. Do the BayStars. So waiting here on the offering, and there's the right-handed hitting. Miyazaki steps in. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And it's on its way. It's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. And now Miyazaki is in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. BayStars here find themselves in the hole by a run. They've got 2 ducks on the pond and 1 gone here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So digging himself back in is the right-handed hitting Miyazaki. Right-hander Tanaka holds to the set. Here comes the pitch. Now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that comes inside. Tough pitch there for Fushimi to handle. It's going to run to count to 1-2. Seem to have a lot of arm side run to it. I certainly don't want to hit Miyazaki in this situation. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. It's Miyazaki waiting here on the pitch from the right-hander. As he holds set and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is the pinch runner, Momori, and he slides in safely head first into home plate. Oh, a good piece of hitting there by Miyazaki. He's got himself a single and an RBI. In to score Momori. The game is now tied at 4, stopping at third. The pinch runner for Setsugo, and now the BayStars have got a chance to walk it off here in the bottom half of the inning. It is Kajiwara who is the runner over at third. He came in to run for Yoshi Setsugo. And Kajiwara has some speed. So that is going to bring the infield in. It also brings the outfield in, as there's only 1 gone here. The leadoff hitter, Sano, was retired on strikes. Then it's been a single, a walk, and a single by BayStars hitters that has tied the game up here at 4. They've got a chance to walk it off here. I'm not so sure I really like my guy going headfirst into the plate like Momori did. Oh, and now they're going to intentionally walk Matsuo. So he is going to be aboard with the base on ball. It's supposed to bring up the pitcher's spot in the order, which would have been Rowan Wick. So an intentional walk to Matsuo. We're going to see who they're going to bring up for Wick. Again, it's the jerseys. This is going to be number 10 coming to bat. This is Yasutaka Tobashira, one of the catchers. So the infield is in. Tobashira, the pinch hitter here. As this game is coming down to the wire. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Tanaka. The first pitch on the way, it's a fastball that misses inside, and it's ball 1 to Tobashira. There's nowhere to put him. They're going to have to pitch to him. So the crowd on their feet here as the BayStars looking to win it in the 9th. So Tobashira here waiting on the offering as the 1-0 is on the way. Fastball swung on. It is pop foul over on the third base side, giving chase is Nomura is going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count even at 1-1. A deep fly ball should be able to be enough here to get in Kajiwara. Sir Grimori said sorry for the question earlier. It seems the uniforms are reversed. Yeah, normally the home team wears the white and the road team would wear the gray or the darks. I don't know if that's because of interleague play. It's a good question. 1-1 on the way. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. Count is now 1-2 here to Tobashira. Shortstop Yoda Kyoto waiting his turn on deck. Should we have another hitter come to the plate? BayStars with a chance to win it here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Bases loaded. 1-2 to Tobashira. As the pitch from Tanaka is about to happen. Fastball swung on, chop foul. Past the bag at first base, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. BayStars looking to be able to get themselves a run here. This game started off, it was the pitching of the BayStars. 13 batters in a row retired by the starter, Ishida. That was the talk of the town. Then it's been the power display by the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighters. They had raced up to a 4-1 lead, and now the BayStars have battled back. It is bases loaded, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tobashira as he steps out. A little gamesmanship going on here right now between the pitcher of the fighters and the hitter of the BayStars. And here comes the 1-2 offering as Tanaka kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's cued foul. This time over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2. All they need is a base hit here, and it's game over. A deep fly ball should be enough to be able to bring in Kajiwara. But Tobashira he got a battle on his hands here. This is going to be the 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up. As Tanaka, the right-hander, holds set. And here comes the pitch. It's on its way. It is a fastball swung on, and it is chopped foul right at the feet of Tobashira. And the count remains at 1-2. If you just joined us, fighters are pretty much no hit going into the 5th inning. As we said, 13 in a row retired by the starter. It was Yoshi Satsugo who got the scoring going for the BayStars in the 2nd when he hit the batter's eye with a home run. And then in the 5th inning, the fighters got 3 of their own back with back-to-back homers, 2 of them off of the bats of Reyes and Minami. There's a fastball swung on, hammered over to first. It is caught by the second baseman. He throws it over to first. Double play. He has lined into a double play, has Tobashira, and that is going to do it. We're going to be going to extra innings. That's going to go as a 4-3 double play. It erased Masuda over at first. He's gone for the 2nd out. Tobashira gone for the 3rd on the back end, but we're going to get an explanation here as the manager for the BayStars has come out. And he wanted to see if that ball was indeed caught. And I guess his explanation is, or a bit from the home plate umpires, he's accepted that. He's going to walk back to the dugout. And that is going to do it here for Yokohama in the bottom of the 9th inning. We're going to the top of the 10th. Your score is 4-4 for the fighters and the BayStars. Back in just a couple moments. Hang tight, everybody.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. So, right, everybody, we know baseball, and we know that we are going to extra innings. It is the 10th inning just around the corner. Right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Just as they do after the 5th inning, they do have a break, a little bit extended break after the 9th, as it is going to be the fighters to come to bat in the top of inning number 10. And slated to come to bat for them will be Yazawa Isobata and Kataro Kiyomiya. That'll be the top of the order for the fighters. We're just waiting on some of the other changes as the BayStars will be making their other changes as well. And one of them will be a new pitcher when we are able to get this one here. Michael S. asked the question, is there a base runner in extras or no? No, not in the Japanese league. They do not start with a ghost runner. They do only play 12 innings in the NPB. So it is pure baseball as we would know it. And if the game ends in a tie after 12 innings, then that is how it ends. But there is no ghost runner. I kind of like, in some ways, I'm a bit mixed. I don't really like the ghost runner. I know it helps the game end quicker when you think of Major League Baseball, that there are times when the games are ending a little bit quicker. I think a lot of people would appreciate that. At the same time, in the regular season, I wouldn't necessarily be upset if the game went 3 extra innings and that the game ended in a tie per se. We do have a pitching change. It's going to be Taisi Ire who is coming in, who has been closing games lately for the BayStars. So he will take over for Rowan Wick, who went 2 innings tonight. So Taisi Ire in here in relief, as he is going to be the 4th pitcher used by Yokohama in this one. He'll be slated to face Yazawa Isobata and Kiyomiya, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the batting order, as he is completing his tune-up tosses. There are wholesale changes around as well. So the other changes that we're going to have here for the BayStars, we're just trying to get that cut up here. As it looks like at third base, it is going to be Ishigami at third. Kajiwara, who stays in the game, is going to be in right field. Mamori takes over at second base for Shugo Maki. And that is pretty much where it is. It is Wataru who moves from right to left field. So those are the immediate changes for the BayStars. Our friend Sir Grimori says that he has the audio synced up with the TV broadcast, so there's a little delay. Yeah, there is sometimes. There's a couple of things. We were talking about it in our previous streams. Last year when I was in Chiba, I was watching the game on my phone, and then also, too, watching the game live. There was about a 15 to 20 second delay between the game and the feed I was getting on my phone. And then you take in, we use a third-party service, another 7-second delay. There could be about 22 seconds between the game itself and the feed. So this is going to bring to the plate the left-handed hitting Yazawa, who's 0 for 4 tonight. He checks his swing and fouls the first pitch away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yazawa has grounded out 3 times and bounced into a fielder's choice. So 0 for 4 in this one here tonight. As the right-hander holds to the set, now he kicks and delivers. There is a fastball swung on, and it's fouled straight back, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. That last pitch was a fastball at the split finger variety, but it didn't do much splitting. Stayed up in the zone. So no balls and 2 strikes to Yazawa. Again, the right-hander working himself to the set. And the 0-2 pitch is forthcoming. Kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It is fouled right into the catcher, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander again works himself into the set position. And here comes the 0-2. It is a fastball that is taken for a called third strike. Oh, the third base umpire goes up with the right hand as they appeal down, and that is going to do it. Yazawa is going to be gone. He's out for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone, and that is going to bring up the center fielder in Ryota Isabata. So Isabata coming to the plate. He's 0 for 4 in this one. As he bats from the left side here. The pitch is a fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Isabata. So the pitch on the way is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to go again. As he gets himself leaning in here, and the signs coming from the catcher of the BayStars, Matsuo. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Pitch on the way is a fastball that spiked into the ground, and now the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. This game here, we're getting some bonus baseball as we are in the 10th inning. Can't say I necessarily expected it the way the game started off. As we mentioned, Ishida was absolutely brilliant through his first 4 1/3 innings pitched. Went out into the 5th, hadn't allowed a hit. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Isabata's gone on strikes. He's out for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Kotaro Kiyomiya. And certainly this one here tonight has had its moments. It was the solo shot off the bat of Setsugo that opened the scoring. And back-to-back home runs by Reyes and Manami gave the Fighters a 2-1 lead, and then back-to-back doubles and an RBI by Kawabata that drove in the 3rd run. There's a pitch that misses inside, and the count is 1-0 to Kiyomiya. Fighters ended up getting their 4th run in the 6th inning. After a walk and a walk with 1 out to Kiyomiya and Gunji, it was Franmil Reyes driving in his 2nd run of the night with a double. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Kiyomiya. So 2 balls and no strikes. Kiyomiya officially 0 for 3 tonight. He has also walked and scored 1 of the runs. As the 2-0 coming from Issei. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-1. We'll have to see if it is Fushimi who will replace Gunji straight up in the batting order. Does look like it is Fushimi who is on deck. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. It's grounded through the 4-hole into right field. So Kiyomiya's got himself a single. A 2-out single. That is going to bring up the aforementioned Tori Fushimi, as he will come to bat here to face the right-hander Ira. Nice piece of hitting there by Kiyomiya. He went down and got it. So runner at first with 2 gone. That brings Fushimi to the plate. As he taps both sides of the plate, he steps in. The 35-year-old right-handed hitting catcher of the Fighters, hitting .238 on the year with a homer and 6 RBIs. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. It is slicing. Giving chase is the right fielder, Kajiwara, but he's going to watch that drift into the seats, and the count is 0-1 to Fushimi. As we said, looking ahead to the Yokohama portion of the 10th inning, looks like Kyoto, Kuwahara, and Wataru, the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for Yokohama. Does look like that there may be, looks like it's Go Matsumoto who is moved into the on-deck circle as that first pitch is swung on and fouled away. The one-time spot occupied by Franmil Reyes in the lineup, as he was removed an inning or so ago, as Kiyomiya had moved over to play first base. Although it might have been the pitcher spot. They've moved that around a little bit here because they had brought in Naram up to play third. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball inside. Peel over to the first base umpire, but they say that Fushimi didn't go. It runs the count now to 1-1. He did check his swing. It moved him off the plate, and because he was moved off the plate, on the front angle, I'm not so sure about that, although the first base umpire would have a far better look at the angle that we would have had. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's the breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. Again, they appeal to the first base umpire, and again, the first base umpire said he didn't go. So the count is 1-2 to Fushimi. Sorry, 2-2 to Fushimi. So here comes the offering from the right-hander. Issei delivers. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 2-2. So one thing that we picked up on is that when you get into the bullpens, the pace of the game just slows right down. You can be skipping along through 5 or 6. The starting pitchers, they get the ball, they work quickly. You get into the bullpens, and the next thing you know, the game just comes to a grinding halt. Here's the 2-2. Fastball just misses down. Oh, I don't think they like that, did the BayStars. That's going to run the count full. I got to tell you, they might not like it, but that was a pretty good call by the home plate umpire. You could see that the ball was below the knees. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander looks over at the first base, and they're ready to go again. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses outside. Now that looked like a pretty good pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. Fushimi's going to get himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. That's going to bring up the spot once occupied by Franmil Reyes. We're going to look at that one again. The up-down on that looked pretty darn good, but the pitch may have been outside with the inside out with the angle that we have. That probably wouldn't have been the other piece. We don't have an overhead view like you get in some of the dome stadiums because this one is outdoors. It looked like it was going to be Go Matsumoto coming to bat in the spot here, once occupied by Reyes. That's exactly who it is. He's coming in to pinch hit. So Go Matsumoto coming in. He's struggled this year. He's hitting .184. He's 18 for 98. But a base hit here could erase some of those shortcomings. Matsumoto waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Issei, as he checks the runner at second, which is Kiyomiya. And the first pitch on the way, fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. I think if you asked Matsumoto, I think he'd want that one back. 100%. As the right-handed hitting Matsumoto waits his turn. Here comes the pitch. The 0-1 on the way. Kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. And there and jumping up to make the catch is Kuwahara. Oh, he hit the ball and the screws did Matsumoto right to the glove of the center fielder. And that is going to do it for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There was no errors. And there were 2 runners left stranded aboard. Yokohama is going to have another chance here to win this one. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for being with us here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this time out.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, everybody. That is our friend Matt Hollis. Be sure to check him out after the game. It's going to be the 5th pitcher coming onto the hill here for the Fighters. It'll be a number 25 making his appearance, and that would be the lefty Naoki Miyanishi. So he is coming on in relief. We have our friend in the channel said, how are you watching this game? And that's pretty easy. You got to have, if you're in Japan, it is on J Sport. So that is where you're at there. So J Sport would be the one where you want to go and take a look at. So it is going to be the left-hander Naoki Miyanishi taking over here, and he will be facing the 9, 1, and 2 spots in the batting order. And that would be, as we say, Kyoda, Kuwahara, and Wataru. So he has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action here. So it is going to be Yota Kyoda coming up to bat, 11 for 63 on the season. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He came in to replace the shortstop Mori back in the 8th inning. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Hoops Daily asked the question, will there be ghost runners? Answer to that is no. No ghost runners in extra innings. Other thing is Pacific League TV will only give you the home games during interleague play. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line, racing over, and it's going to get off the glove of the left fielder, and it's going to get down. And Yazawa can't make the play, and moving into second base is Kyoto. We're going to have to wait to see how they scored. I personally think it'll be a double because he was racing over the line. He had to slide to try to catch it. The ball ended up going off of his glove. Wasn't able to hang on to it. But at the same time, it wasn't a play with ordinary effort. That ball was slicing away and down the line, and he had to try to dive to get it or reach out. Ended up off the glove. That's gonna be trouble, and it's gonna bring Kuwahara to the plate. I'd be curious to see how they're gonna try to play this out. They let him swing away. Do they bunt here? Kuwahara today 0 for 4. He has popped to short, lined to second, flown to right, and grounded to short. But they're going to intentionally walk him to be able to face Wataru. So an intentional walk, that'll set up a force. Put runners at first and second. I do want to see how they're going to score that. If they're going to give him a hit or if they're going to give him an error. Kyoto is going to get the home cooking. He's going to get the double down the right field line. So that is a double for Kyoto there. So that is going in the books. That's what you get when you have the home scorer on your side. You're on the road, it might have been a different story. Wataru's average at 264 on the year. And the lefty does the old spaghetti move, and it chases the runner back to second base. Outfield is shallow right now, as they got to be able to try to throw the runner out at the plate. The runner is Kyoto. He's not the fastest, but he can move a little bit. So Wataru waggling the bat here. Yokohama looking to walk it off here in the 10th inning. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses way outside. Count is quickly 1-0. Started to say the Pacific League will carry all the home interleague games. You have to get to the Central League teams or who their carriers would be if you want to get theirs. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0 on Wataru. Sir Grimori says that's how he's seeing it. Came up and recommended, so he clicked it on a whim. I don't know if that was ours or somebody else's. Sometimes there's people that will stream the games on YouTube, and then they get shut down pretty quickly. We don't want to lose our account for something crazy like that, that's for sure. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Wataru. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. BayStar fans cheering hard. They've got runners at first and second, nobody out. I forget what it is. When you get a runner to second base, the scores, it's like 50% chance. There's a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. Count is 2-2. You get like a 50% chance of scoring the runner from second if you get them there with nobody out. If you get them to third, the number goes up exponentially. Basically got 3 cracks to bring him home here. Kaida Sano waiting his turn on deck. Masaki Momori after that. Here's the 2-2. And that's a fastball swung on and missed. And Wataru is down on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning. 1 gone here, and it's going to bring up the first baseman in Kaida Sano. Well, for Sano, he has enjoyed himself a pretty good run of play as of late. As Sano again hit a homer today. He is 1 for 3. It was his 5th home run of the year. He's got his average at 281 with 29 runs driven in. He bats from the left side. He's been getting quite a bit of first base with the absence of Tyler Austin. So BayStars with a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 10th. Runners at first and second, 1 gone. Lefty Miyanishi ready to deliver. And the first pitch fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Sano. Sano tried to end the ball game with one swing of the bat right there. It was power versus power. Got that low three-quarter fastball from the lefty Miyazaki, and it just blew it right by him. As he walks back, so that we got ourselves no balls and one strike to Sano as the lefty kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball that misses down. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the lefty leans in. He looks at the sign from his catcher, Tori Fushimi, and he delivers. Fastball swung on, lifted, foul. It's over towards the third base dugout, giving chase is Narama, and it's going to get into the camera well, and that is going to run the count to 1-2. He ran out of real estate. It looked like it took out one of the cameras. I have to wait and see there on the replay. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Sano. 1 gone here in the 10th inning. Runner at second is Kyoto. Runner at first is Kuwahara. Game is locked up at 4s. Sano in the hole here at 1-2. Waiting on deck is Momori. And here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty holds. Now delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be looped into center field past the diving Kama Kawabata. Here comes the throw in. It is going to get cut off, but the bases are going to be loaded. As Sano was able to fight that one off, he's got himself a single. Stopping at third is Kyoto. They had to freeze because they weren't sure if that ball was going to get caught or not. So Kyoto advances to third. Kuwahara to second. The single by Sano has loaded the bases, and now the pitching coach is on his way to the mound as Kato has been making a path out here throughout the latter part of the ball game, as it will bring Masaki Momori to the plate. So Momori, who came on as a pinch runner for Shugo Maki in the 9th inning, he stole second base and ended up coming in and scoring on an RBI single off the bat of Toshiro Miyazaki. I kind of wonder in this situation, one thing, I know the bases are loaded. I wonder if they would consider bunting here because Momori can handle the bat pretty good. Would they consider a squeeze or a potential for a squeeze play here? Try to cash that runner in from third. As we said, Kyoto can run. He's not the fastest, but he can run a little bit. So Kyoto is the runner over at third. The runner at second, Kuwahara. And the first pitch fastball to Momori misses outside for ball 1. Count is 1-0. Nowhere to put Momori. 26-year-old batting .214 on the season. No homers and 6 RBIs. First season with the BayStars. Former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk. Certainly last year, he did not get a lot of playing time with the Hawks like he had in some of the previous seasons. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 2-0. Sometimes when you have new managers, they value the players a little bit differently, and that is probably how Momori felt when he was with his tenure with the Fukuoka Ball Club. Wasn't getting the shake he thought he deserved. So bases full of BayStars, 2-0 here to Momori. They got to come to him 3 times. Here comes the 2-0 pitch as the lefty holds set. Now delivers. Fastball swung on, lined into right field. This ball is going to get down for a base hit. Manami fields it. He fires it in, and that is going to do it. The ball game is over, as that is a base hit single from Momori. It is going to walk it off here in the bottom of the 10th. Kyoto comes in to score, and your final score is Yokohama winning this one 5-4 as the BayStars win a seesaw affair and end up taking the series 2 out of 3 against the Fighters. Once again, your final score is 5-4 for the BayStars. We'll be back to wrap it up here in just a moment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you all for stopping in. We're going to get the recap of this one, the roundup from around the NPB, and then we will call it a night. First of all, here in the action tonight between the BayStars and the Fighters, it was an interesting ball game. The starter for Yokohama, Yataro Ishida, had a perfect game going into the fifth inning. He retired the first 13 batters that he faced, as he pitched very, very well. Yokohama got the scoring going in the second inning, however. A leadoff home run off the bat of Yoshi Satsugo to start inning number 2, right off the batter's eye in straightaway center field, gave Yokohama an early 1-0 lead. Fighters, with one out in the fifth inning, got back-to-back homers off the bats of Franmil Reyes and Chusei Manami. They took the lead 2-1. And then back-to-back doubles from Yamagata and Kawabata made the scoreline 3-1 for the Fighters. Fighters added to their lead in the sixth inning with one out. It was back-to-back walks to Kiyomiya and Gunji. And then a double off the bat of Franmil Reyes made the scoreline 4-1. Well, Yokohama battled back in the sixth inning with two outs. Kaita Sano homered, and he was followed up by Shugo Maki with a home run as well. And that made the scoreline 4-3. Bottom of the ninth inning, Yokohama able to tie the ball game with one out. It was a single off the bat of Maki. And then after a walk to Satsugo and a single by Miyazaki, that brought home the pinch runner Masaki Momori, who came in to run for Maki to tie the game at 4. So here we go, skipping ahead to the 10th inning. It was a leadoff double off the bat of Kyoto, an intentional walk to Kuwahara after Wataru struck out, and a single by Sano to load the bases. Up stepped Momori, and he drove home a single to walk it off here against the Fighters in the 10th inning. Your final score, once again, is the Yokohama DeNA BayStars with a victory 5-4, your final. We'll take a quick look around the NPB, and then we're going to call it a night. The games from around the NPB, there are other finals that are in. In fact, everything is a final, as this one was the last one to end. The Giants knocked off the Eagles at the Tokyo Dome 5-0. It was the Swallows 4-2 over the Hawks. That game was at the Jingu tonight. That ended there. BayStars, as we said, knocked off the Fighters in this one 5-4. Dragons beat the Marines 3-0. It was an 8-1 victory, Tigers over the Buffaloes. And in Hiroshima, the Carp beat the Lions 10-0. And what does that mean? It was a Central League sweep tonight as they won all 6 games of interleague play. Very interesting. They now have a 7-win lead over their Pacific rivals. Okay, everybody, once again, we appreciate you for popping in to listen to us. We are going to call a midweek game. We may squeeze the Saturday Japan game in next week, but we will be away on Sunday, Japan time. So we'll look for us to call a couple of midweek games. We will try to pick up Trevor Bauer's start during the week. I would assume that would probably come either on Wednesday or Thursday if they're going with the 4 days rest. Once again, everybody, it's been another Last Raps Baseball video production. We have a great night, and we will see you guys again later in the week with another stream.